In pre-Islamic Arab society, the social status of women was extremely poor. Women were not regarded as a meaningful part of daily life and were seen as having little to no human value. The birth of a female child was not a source of joy for families. Rather, it was associated with shame and grief. Many families in society chose to bury their daughters alive. Those who survived were often treated as commodities, bought and sold like property. Marriages were not based on the mutual consent of two individuals, but were instead arranged entirely around the interests and alliances of families. With the advent of Islam, the shameful system within Arab society was fundamentally transformed. The position of women in society, the concept of family formation, and the understanding of marriage were completely redefined. In this video, we will examine the place of women and the marriage system in pre-Islamic Arab society and explore the transformation that occurred after the arrival of Islam. The pre-Islamic era, known as the Age of Ignorance, was a period in which women and girls were considered worthless. The Qur'an describes this reality as follows. When one of them is given the news of a female child, his face darkens, and he is filled with inward grief. He hides himself from his people because of the bad news he has received. Should he keep her in humiliation or bury her in the ground? The practice of burying girls alive was particularly widespread among poor families. Daughters were seen as an economic burden, while having sons was considered a primary aspiration. According to narrations, after the advent of Islam, a man once came to the Prophet Muhammad and tearfully confessed to committing this atrocity in the past. The Prophet listened with deep sorrow and strongly condemned this practice. The situation of women who survived and reached marriageable age was not much better. Upon marriage, all decision-making authority over a woman was transferred from her family to her husband. A man could divorce his wife at will, marry as many women as he wished, and treat his wife however he pleased. Women were effectively regarded as the property of men. Additionally, women had no right to inheritance, as they were deemed unworthy of it on the grounds that they did not participate in warfare. Marriage in pre-Islamic Arab society was not a single uniform institution. According to Ibn Abbas, there were 4 different types of marriage during the Age of Ignorance. The first type was the closest to modern marriage, and was known as nikah al-sahih. In this form, a man would negotiate with the woman's family, and after paying a certain bride price, take her as his wife. However, the woman's consent was not considered. The decision rested entirely with the family, particularly the father. The second type of marriage served social status. If a man desired a noble or strong child, he would allow his wife to have relations with another man of noble lineage. Any child born from this relationship would then be attributed to the husband. In the third type, a woman would have relationships with multiple men. If she became pregnant, the men would be summoned, and the woman would choose one of them as the father. The selected man would then be recognized as the child's father. The fourth and final type involved women engaged in prostitution. If such a woman became pregnant and gave birth, individuals believed to possess expertise would examine the child's physical features and determine who the father most likely was. With the arrival of Islam, all of these forms of marriage, except the first, were strictly prohibited. Even nikah al-sahih was restructured so that the woman became an active participant in the marriage process. Thus, the woman's consent became a fundamental requirement of marriage. The buying and selling of women was abolished, and women were granted the dignity and value they deserved within society. Forced marriages were eliminated. The bride price, which had previously been given to the woman's family, was now given directly to the woman herself, providing her with financial security in case of future hardship. Divorce was no longer an exclusive right of men. Women were also granted the right to seek separation. Polygamy was not entirely abolished, but it was subjected to extremely strict conditions, effectively limiting its practice. The reforms Islam introduced in the institution of marriage constituted a profound social revolution. Women were no longer treated as objects, but were recognized as human beings. Marriage shifted from oppression to justice, and family life evolved from chaos to order. This transformation did not occur overnight. The Prophet Muhammad educated society gradually over a period of 23 years. Quranic revelations were sent down progressively, leading to a deep and lasting change in mindset. Today, when Islamic law is applied correctly, women are protected. Islam granted women rights 1400 years ago that many societies still fail to fully recognize today. The lesson that must be drawn from this is clear. If there are people around us who mistreat women or fail to educate them about their rights, we should not rush to condemn them harshly. Instead, we should strive to guide them with patience and wisdom. Even Allah transformed society gradually. We should take this method as our example. If this documentary helped you understand Islam's reforms in marriage, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it. See you in the next video. As-salāmu ʿalaykum.